Hello. Good morning. Hello, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Okay.
Hi, sorry for that. I don't know. It was on my end. Thank you for verifying that. I was maybe talking a blue streak to nobody out there hearing me. Thank you for that.
Of course.
That's funny. I was explaining to our folks, for those
Hmm.
who are seeing us first time or repeated time, that yes, we too make mistakes. We could blame it on the computer, on the camera. No, moi, basically. And we share that openly because from both of our perspectives, I'm the left brain phenomena, and Lizzy is the right brain, I say, warm, cushy, fuzzy, feely person. No matter which side of the coin of the brain you like to express, we're human and we make mistakes. And if we're good about it, we'll learn from them and we'll grow because of it. So we haven't lost 2 minutes. We gained 2 minutes. We'll never make this mistake again. I guarantee you on that one.
Good
But again,
morning,
for
everybody.
good morning. So for those who are seeing us for the first time, basically what this is about is that, as I said, Lizzy says she's recognized in her industry as a wellness coach, I guess, slash consultant at times. I'm still trying to get the terminology correct.
Mhm.
And besides being a certified yoga instructor, I wouldn't even try to mention the class or school she's in. It makes no sense to me. But the people who respond to her have said that their lives are better, they're more fulfilled, more successful. And that clicks with my left brain. So I'm trying to puzzle through this stuff to figure it out. This is, by the way, our 35th session.
Woo.
I think I might be getting some idea, and that might be generous, by the way.
Mhm.
So, some homework here, then we'll get into the storyline. Basically, I will challenge Lizzy to defend her statements. We don't pre rehearse. She will usually give me topics. Sometimes I'll find topics because she is good at what she does, and I need to work hard to pin her down. I think I get her in a corner in the rope, and she skirts off right underneath me or right around me, right through me sometimes, back into the center of the see, there she goes again. This is what folks, I need your help. Please sign in, share your comments. YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook. If you sign into YouTube, you must sign in to leave a comment either through your YouTube or Google account. And today's topic, and I have to read this because it's not intuitive to me. Basically, her statement, this is a Lizzy statement, it's not quoted by some unknown phenomena. If you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. And I kind of understand the wording, but my thing is limitations, fight them or embrace them. Geez, I'm human. I make mistakes. So why would I fight against myself? So I'm going to ask Lizzy to explain, please, what she's talking about.
I think it's such. This is such like a near and dear topic to my heart because I really think that we are so conditioned uh, to learn what we're not good at and our limits are,
Mm-hmm.
and then our brain is a goal seeking mechanism, so we're going to we're gonna do what our brain what our computer and our brain tells us that we're capable of,
Mm-hmm.
and it simply limits us. And I think that all our behavior is based on our what we believe about ourselves.
Okay.
So I mean, it always reminds me of the elephant, the elephant in the circus, which we may have discussed before. But the elephant's a baby. They tie it to this little rope. The elephant grows into this strong, amazing creature
Mm-hmm.
that can literally rip the whole circus down. But it's learned that it can't escape, so it stays tied to that rope for its whole life, And I think it's a great metaphor for how we limit ourselves and put ourselves in this box of what we're able to do or not able to do. And I think that if we instead, embrace this limitless um,
Possibilities.
possibilities,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that we can go further and farther and than we could ever think possible.
No,
Uh,
I hear that, but what comes to my mind is the fable of the king who wore no clothes, and he thought he was the greatest thing going. He was decked out in finery. He was the exclusive king of his territory. Nobody crossed him. Nobody disagreed with him. So he hired the best of seamstress and clothing designers to put these fine clothes on him, and he was so proud of himself that he would actually go around to his people on the
mhm,
back of a carriage so he could show his finery. Now, of course, and there were always soldiers along the path, so people would say, "Hey, you look fantastic! Oh, I love your dress." And this happened for several weeks until one kid, he's feeling pretty good about it, paying more money to the clothing designer and the seamstress for finer clothes, even until one little kid, 7 years of age, that didn't know the politics of the moment or didn't have enough sense to fear the guards.
mhm.
How come the king is not wearing any clothes? So the message is that sometimes we do have limitations and maybe we should recognize them. I mean, how do you deal with that to keep things for real?
You know, the thing is that then nothing would ever be, discovered or created, or
Mm.
again, it's like think about the 4 minute mile guy. I forget his name. People thought before that he ran the 4 minute mile that if you ran the 4 minute mile, if you ran a 4 minute mile, your like heart would explode, or you would
I hear that.
until he did it. And then what happened after that?
Right.
Many people started to do it. So, you gotta be the person who believes it's possible, but see, you have to see it before it, to believe it, you know.
I hear that.
Yeah.
It flashes me back to Dick Tracy. Whoever thought somebody could talk to somebody either through his shoe or his wristwatch? Actually, I think the shoe was Get Smart. It was another kind of detective movie, a parody on Dick Tracy, but clearly that was absurd. It was silly. It was so ridiculous. Nobody would even discuss it. And how many decades ago was that? For those of us a little bit beyond puberty, but clearly, as you're indicating, here's someone who was not limited by technology, had a vision that was not obvious to the rest of us, and put it out there.
Yeah.
And, and
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, and then so but on the others, and that's where I want us all to be, in
Mm-hmm.
that mindset. But what we often do is we have this learned helplessness mindset, like the elephant,
Mm-hmm.
and so and that's what I think is so dangerous, and especially like for I think about, my belief is about agelessness and about having an ageless mind. And but what do? We start to say, oh, I'm having a senior moment. Oh, I'm so
Mm.
forgetful because I'm this age. And we're going to fulfill that. We have this self-fulfilling prophecy that we're going to end up, if we say we're not good at math, I'm not good at this, we're going to be not good at this, so instead, why not say I am great at this thing that maybe I'm not so good at, because then our brain, we're going to start to program our supercomputer of our brain to actually, behave in that way and
Okay,
master ourselves.
I'm hearing that, and actually, it's a good point you just made. So, my wife and I have been married for about 30 plus years now. So, she tells me repeatedly that I'm clueless, and I just don't get it. I should buy that. No, I know what I'm talking about. I should argue back with her to keep my mind expansive.
You should definitely, yeah, not listen to her, and you should be very mindful of what you say to yourself. You don't say to yourself that you're clueless, and because
All the time. I don't know what she's talking about when she
but we
says I'm
have to be
clueless.
very careful. We have to be careful with what we say to our partners, to our
Oh,
kids, because to our kids especially,
mm,
because what's externally said to us, our external world becomes what we our
good point.
internal world. So we got to be very careful about what we say to
So,
each other and what we say to our children,
I
especially.
hear that. So after 30 years of this, does that indicate that maybe I'm hopeless being clueless,
No,
or no? Okay, so let
no,
me ask.
don't
Let,
take it on. Just
let me ask you this then. So okay, let's say I'm clueless all of my adult life or post puberty life. So what if assuming I'm not prepared yet to come to you, what baby steps might I take to begin to turn myself around on this as a self starter
to
concept?
really be mindful of your self-talk. What are you saying to yourself
Mm-hmm.
when she starts saying, or anybody else starts saying that you're clueless? Really start to give yourself the positives. Again, it's that positive self-talk that really can become what your reality is. So
Mm-hmm.
just start saying nice things to yourself, saying I am not, I am so clued in.
I included her dialogue at that moment. I'll admit to that.
So it starts with that. It starts with really being careful about what listening to what we're saying to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times it comes from like some teacher saying something about us that will never amount to anything, and then we start to, and we take that in, and we will fulfill that. But we can also say, you know what, no, actually, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to amount to like a great fit, a great person.
Well, is that like turning on a light switch, or does someone kind of ease into that? There's you say mindfulness. Does that mean when I'm being
It's
approached verbally, I take deep breaths and stare at the ceiling and roll my eyes back in my head? Is there certain little techniques? What does all that stuff?
I won't go there yet, although I do talk to the ceiling a lot. But just start to affirm yourself, start to just rewrite, reframe, those negative statements into positive ones to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
when you look in the mirror, say, and because again, go back to the 4 minute mile guy. He visualized that 3 minutes 59 seconds in his mind, like every day, as much as he possibly could, until it became his reality.
Mm-hmm.
So start with just those little positive affirmations, and you might feel funny and weird to start with them and not believe them, but again, we are programming our mind, or that supercomputer. We want to program it in a way that's going to be, you know, steering us in the direction that we want to go.
Okay, I hear that. So let's assume I get a self start, and I'm going to use the metaphor that, let's say you're the booster shot.
Mm-hmm.
That so if I choose to come to you, what do you provide as an additional factor
Mm-hmm.
that gets me out of my perception of clueless state of mind?
Well, yeah, it's you got to really be clear what is it that you're saying to yourself, right? So we want to talk
Mm-hmm.
about that,
Right.
and then you want to talk about what are your good qualities, like really, like what do people say about you, not the clueless. What do people
Mm-hmm.
actually say about you that your good qualities, and let's just like focus on them, and let's focus on all the successes you've had.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're not a success, let's start talking about what are the small wins that you've had, because we all have. We've all learned to walk. We've all learned to maybe
Mm-hmm.
drive. We've all learned, we maybe have all, been able to get through eighth grade or ninth
Okay.
grade,
Okay.
high school. And so, start to focusing on those, and then really just start to write down our little wins of the day. I
Mm-hmm.
always say have a success log, for your
Mm.
week. Write
Right.
down what did you achieve that day. You got up, you exercised, maybe, all those little things, because then again, we're just starting to reprogram that part of
That
us
that state of
that,
mind.
that is that is heavily easily goes to the negative.
Okay,
So
what it sounds like to me, it's not so much to push back. Well, yes, you are clued in as an argument, but you do what I call micro steps of achievements of awareness. Is that the mindfulness thing that you are
just to
way more
realize,
than way more than you thought you were, and let's build on that.
yeah, and again, just to remember, if you argue for your limits, they're yours.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna keep them.
Okay,
But so monitor your self talk, monitor yourself,
I see.
and our it's like our mind is always eavesdropping on what we're saying to ourselves. So be careful about
Right.
that, and you can literally, I believe we're limitless.
I hear that. So you really don't want to embrace your limitations. You don't
No,
not even necessarily fight them. I guess you say fight for them. I guess that you want to understand how to work through them.
how to
Self awareness.
overcome them,
Okay.
because we are capable of overcoming pretty much so many things, you
Mm-hmm.
know and it's just a reprogramming, a rewriting, and a reframing that can make all the difference.
I see. It's like that little thing. When I was a kid, it was like you would write on something and you could shake it and erase it and start all over again.
Yeah.
Shake it and erase it. So is that what you do for people with limitations?
Yes, yes, take it and erase it and rewrite it. Yeah, I love that. That's etch a sketch thing. Yeah.
Fair enough. See, folks, I think she gets way more out of me than I've gotten out of her so far. But again, share your comments, share your thoughts. Also, share ideas. What would you like to hear about we've yet to talk about? Because we intend to do this for some time. I
Mhm.
want to thank you, Lizzy. Thank you, audience, for being a part
Thank
of this
you,
session. We're
ladies
on.
and
We're on every Thursday, Eastern Standard or Daylight Time, barring Thanksgiving Day, stuff like that. There may be a holiday in there someplace also. But
gents.
please come back and visit us again, even after the fact. If you see us share comments, we do audit those comments also and try to respond back.
Yes. Be well, everybody.